Previously on Rabbi and Son.
I feel like with this whole Israel-Palestine thing.
Yeah.
Like, do these people really care about these issues, or is it just in the media and now they need something?
Right.
You know, are they really in the best interest of both these groups of people?
What do you do in a post-truth society? What do you do in a world where you can generate images online, where you can take images and use them out of context?
Hyper focusing on like this one issue, which the media does, while like Yemen, that has been an issue for decades.
Right.
Why hasn't no one said anything about that? Even with China and Taiwan, like we're focusing on like the Taiwanese.
Right.
What about the people in Hong Kong?
Right.
What about like the Tibetans? Some issues are black and white, but most of the time they're gray.
Right.
And we're trying to figure that out together. You attacking someone is not going to make them listen to you. If we actually care about getting or spreading awareness to these issues, like I said, there's multiple issues going on.
Right.
Why are we just highlighting two?
Right.
We can make space for awareness on multiple issues, but I feel like this is what people are talking about. This is what popular. This is what gets most clicks. This is what views. So this is what's gonna like permeate the media. You feel like, it keeps stacking on you. Like, it is what we were talking about earlier, where it's like, keep consuming the same media every day. So you feel like everything is stacking. And then you feel like, you begin that place of hyperventilating, and then like you're stressed, and then you're like, oh, they're out to get me. And then like you're always on edge, and you're like, well, you need to, stop saying this because, and then like you're yelling, and then like, you're just, everything is out of control and you're not yourself.
Right.
Like, you can be passionate about an issue and also keep composure. Like, we should be able to do that. We should be able to vehemently disagree with somebody, keep our composure, and keep ourselves together. Because, like, when it comes to movements and people wanting, to be seen and heard, like, what you do is very important to how you move, because you're already going to have people who are of the opposite opinion, who already think these negative things, like, toward what you're doing. So you got to be very careful, like, especially when it comes to protesting,
right?
Because like the Black Lives Matter movement, the Black Lives Matter protests, like, they're always going to highlight the negative,
right?
They're going to highlight what's negative,
right?
And it's going to take away from the message. Not that that's right. And I get that some people are like, well, they're going to do that anyway. They are. But you are not there for you. You are there as carriers of the message.
Right.
You can't muddy the message and then say, well, they were going to do that anyway. If you knew they were going to do that anyway,
right,
let's stay calm. Let's stay here.
Right.
Let's keep doing this. Because then if the media is constantly attacking, people are going to be like, well, what are they doing? If people keep constantly attacking, like, I feel like, and this is, shade of the civil rights movement, peacefully marching, peacefully protesting, and then you see people getting angry, and mad and attacking them. Here's the message. These are people who are opposite of the message, acting violently towards people with the message.
Right.
So then it changes the message. Because then if the media is like getting attacked because they're attacking you in that movement, they're going to stop doing it.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like there's a path laid out in front of us on how to properly do these things.
Yeah.
So stop going there selfishly and start being like, hey, I'm here for this movement. If you truly believe that you're there for that movement, that should be your first and foremost thought. Like, I'm going in here. I know that the media is going to be watching. They're going to be seeing what we're doing, and they're going to be ready for us to make a mistake.
Right.
The first mistake we're going to make is going to be the one that they hold over our head and they keep dragging. And that's
the thing that's going to be a viral clip that just goes all
because then, like, if you're, in our Black Lives Matter movement and then, protest on campuses, please just, follow the rules. Because then when you follow the rules, they can't They can't make it a thing.
Right.
You're there. You're not there for you.
Right.
You're there in the voice of people who you feel like are voiceless.
Right.
So let them have their voice, and let their voice not be muffled by, punches being thrown, fireworks being set off, conundrum. Because then that takes away from the issue.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like, these kids are causing ruckus. They're doing this. They're unruly. This happened. And then talking about the actions instead of what they were here for.
Yeah,
what the message
and
was.
it's tough because I get why people want that cathartic release, right? I get why people in like a social justice environment or wherever want to just scream and just punch and just get that out, because if you feel like, you've just been under the boot of whoever all the time, it would be very reasonable in your mind to loot a store or vandalize something or whatever. But the worst part of being in a justice seeking environment is that you have to be the bigger person. And that sucks because there's that sense of like, but I want what is due to me. And it's like, that is very fair. Also, the only way is to try to be the better person, to show that your cause is just because you are the better person in that scenario. And that's so unfair. Like, I'll be the first to say, emotionally, that is so unfair.
I mean,
also, it's what you have to do.
Like I said, if you're going into the space where that any action that you do is going to be portrayed in a certain way,
right,
then you can't make mistakes.
Right.
And if you actually are there, you actually believe that this thing is wrong,
right,
you have to think that first.
Right.
And that has to come before you.
Mm-hmm.
And your selfishness, you're feeling like, well, I've been under this boot, so yeah, I need to get my comeuppance.
Right.
That's you behaving selfishly when there's a bigger goal.
Right.
If you believe in this cause,
right,
that means this cause, you work for this cause. This is bigger than you. You have no feelings, you're pushing through a message.
Right.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah. And tough ask.
Fair.
It's a tough ask.
It is.
Yeah.
But if you truly, in your heart of hearts, believe that this is a passionate issue that you want to fight for, then that's what you have to do. You have to swallow your pride and your emotions and just, this is what we're here to do.
Yeah.
Okay, you're yelling, you're screaming, the other side's yelling, screaming, and hollering. We're just going to push through.
Yeah.
We're going to push through. So the only thing they can see is our message.
Right.
Like, yes. Like, you're going to have to, but, that goes to show. Either you can do that, or you can be selfish. If you're going to be selfish, who are you there for? Who are you there for?
Yeah.
This issue is bigger than you. You as a single individual, you don't matter in the face of what you're trying to progress. And, I say things like that, and, people are going to disagree, and people will disagree. People are going to disagree. I guarantee you there'll be comments, people disagreeing. And feel like, oh, yeah, we need action. But, sometimes action is subtle. Action,
right.
People, you can yell at people all day. It's only when you start affecting them where it matters,
right,
and they start paying attention.
Right.
If you want something to change in this government, stop awarding people who are doing nothing with another term.
Right.
If you feel like, oh, this business is being discriminatory,
right,
what do?
Right.
You stop occupying that business.
Right.
And if enough people, just like the civil rights movement demonstrated, get up and say, hey, we're going to take the power that we have. Our financial power.
Yeah.
And we take that and we move it to places where that benefits us.
Right.
Boom.
Right.
You take that, and then what happened?
Right.
Change.
Yeah.
Change.
Yeah.
Like, because one of the things, back to, redistricting.
Talking about. Go full circle here.
Yeah. Is, so one of the political commentators, educator, former state senator, of Ohio, Nina Turner, was like, in response to the gerrymandering and people wanting to gerrymander, she was just like, general strike. Like, taking, like, the only real power you have, which is you, and your money and your ability to make this country keep spinning, and saying to these people, no, we don't want this.
Right.
We don't want partisan gerrymandering. So say if everyone got up tomorrow and was like, no, why are we gerrymandering?
Right.
People stop going to work. People stop paying bills. Then what that happen? The economy ends up, getting difficult. And like, sometimes you really, really, I think there's a certain fight that others had, that laid the foundation. I would go to the civil rights movement. When they were boycotting buses, people were walking miles.
Right.
Miles to show these people that, hey, you don't want us on there? Fine. Fine. We're gonna walk, and we're gonna walk until we get tired of walking, and then we're gonna keep walking in spite of us being tired of walking.
Right.
And that's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You have to, the power that you have is your finances, and that's collective.
Right.
If we say, hey, and honestly, I really do think it's worked before.
Well, the Montgomery bus boycott, another point to that is it was the Montgomery bus boycott. So it's not even just, the power of your own purse and walking. It's doing that in one area where there are enough people that moves something. And I sometimes feel like, on one hand, I'm saying, like, isn't it terrible that there are all these things going on in the world and that we only spotlight certain things? But also, what's going on in your own neighborhood? What's going on in your own school board
and I think it's easier
something like
for
that.
people to focus on things, elsewhere rather than address the issue that at hand. Because when you have to actually address an issue that you at hand, that in your face, you're going to actually, have to come with results.
Right. You have to actually get up and go somewhere.
Yeah, you
can
only say so much about something, over 1,000 miles away.
Sure.
Like, but when it's actually coming to your community,
right.
You actually have to show up.
Right.
You're actually going to show up physically. You're going to have to show up. You're going to have to show people that, hey, I believe in this thing, and let's go.
Yeah.
Let's work towards it.
Right.
You can do both.
Yeah.
But what is going on in your community?
Yeah. Yeah. I tell people who are upset about Israel and Palestine and the Jewish community, whatever, I'm like, great, join a synagogue. Like, join a synagogue, because that's the start of something. Like, maybe your synagogue is not, regardless of how I feel, like, maybe your synagogue is not where you wish they were on a topic. Okay, well, then join it and get on the board and, like, figure out what you're going to do. Like, one of the things we do in our household is we buy oil from a nonprofit, olive oil from a nonprofit that is trying to work on helping Jewish and Arab women economically. And I remember one time I got to go to where that olive oil is, I guess, manufactured, if that's the right word, processed. And there was an Arab woman who was one of the workers, and she was asked, like, could you speak? And there's an Arab woman who was like the director of the nonprofit. And this Arab woman said, like, I was never around Jews. Like, I'd never, like, sat next to a Jew or worked with a Jew before. And this, like, completely opened her mind to the idea that, like, oh, like, you're a mom, I'm a mom. Like, we're both trying to, like, just live our lives and, like, do stuff and earn a living and whatever.
People forget that.
Yeah.
And I feel like...
And that's working in a local community. That's not about running for Knesset. It's not about being prime minister. It's about, like, they're crushing olives there. I mean,
Yeah, but I feel like people, I'm going to say people as a whole, because I do think people are tired of all the ruckus, all the rigmarole.
Yeah.
And there are very, like, you only see, like, the people who are animated. I think people are sick of the rigmarole, are tired of all the things that are just noise.
Mm-hmm.
While, like, everyone keeps talking about school. But what is anyone actually doing on school? Like, you can do so much talking. People are tired of talking. People, at the end of the day, just want to go to work. They just want to go home, eat,
Right.
Parent their kids.
Right.
Or
that's all I'm trying to do.
That's all people are trying to do.
Yeah.
And I think people forget about that in, face of their differences.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you're both parents. Let's talk about parenting.
Right.
And, let's, you can agree on how things are done, but people forget commonalities and want to sow this division as though we're not all people living in this world.
Right.
And even though our experiences are different, we can come to agree on certain things.
Yeah.
And the important things.
Right. And disagree on other stuff too. Exactly. And the love is still there.
Yeah. Yeah. We disagree. I love a disagreement. I disagree with people on purpose. Just
for the heck of it.
Just for, the conversation. And like I said, if you can't take the other perspective in, then you cannot properly defend your own argument.
Right. Right.
Because it takes brain power to think about, well, they feel this way because of this. Right. Okay, they feel that way.
Right.
And then you start asking questions on why they feel that way. And then you can start being like, well,
what about that?
Boom, you can combat everything they're saying. So then it's like, okay, you finally have you sewn up, every last, stitch that can, in your argument that you believe what you believe. So when you go out and have a conversation, you could actually be able to defend what you actually believe in and have a conversation and just be like, well, we didn't agree. Yeah. So get up and move on. The world still spins. Yeah. Just because people disagree with you, people disagree with a lot of people. Right. Yeah. You can't change everyone's mind.
Nope, you can't.
So go ahead, don't even run that race. You'll get nowhere. You'll get nowhere slowly.
If I've learned anything as a religious leader, it's almost impossible to change people's opinions on things.
Yeah, people can only do people can only do what they want to do. Yep. If they're not open to change, they won't change.
That's right.
In any aspect.
Right.
In anything. If people don't want to do it, if they themselves feel like, well, I don't want to do that. Right. Then they're not going to want to do it. It's speaking to a brick wall. Yep. They must be open to change themselves. And, I'm, glad that, I can read. Because I think that's very important. Yes. Being able to seek out information on my own. Yeah. And, being able to formulate opinions on my own. Right. And then be able to be like, hey, I believe this and this is why. Right. And be able to sit down and have a conversation. You come up with this and I'd be like, you know what? That's actually smart. I disagree though, but that's smart.
the argument is smart.
And there you go. Just... I think, in closing, people need to remember to ground themselves in their reality. Yes. In their world around them. Yes. And I get, media sensational. Don't allow yourself to be consumed by, something that benefits off your consumption. Right. If you're constantly feeding that, they're gonna keep serving it to you. They're gonna keep indulging. They're gonna keep serving the same thing, serving. Your albums are gonna be the same. Then you're gonna feel like though you're in this space where it's like you feel like everything's terrible, but in reality, when you walk outside, you feel your feet on the ground, you take that breath in, you take that breath out. That's not how the world is. Right. I look at social media and then I walk outside and people are just walking their dogs, taking their kids to school, going to work. Yep. People in their everyday lives are just trying to live. Yep. Trying to keep going.
Touch grass.
So remember, ground yourself in reality. Yes. And not, on social media. Yep. That is... Ground yourself here. Well, not here because we're on social media. Ground yourself, yeah, take that. Yeah. Re-regulate. Right. Self-educate. Because that's always important. Make sure you get all your information from multiple, different publications,
Mm-hmm.
even the ones you disagree with.
Yep, that's right.
Except for the New York Post. Don't read that. I'm just saying. I just know that is not a news organization. You know, that's Clown Factory. Anywho, you know, publications that you feel like have a more, conservative bent or more liberal bent to them, read them, see where they're coming from, and learn their perspectives, and then try to counter that, or try to learn that, or come at your perspective, how they're the liberal perspective, how does that affect my perspective?
Yeah.
And then being able to see those threads,
yeah,
and being able to be like, hey, maybe your mind will change, maybe it'll reinforce your arguments, self-learning. And what's my third point? I feel like I have 2 more points though. Yeah, don't hyperfixate. Actually, no, one more point before that. Learn how to converse. Learn how to disagree.
Yeah.
And move on.
Yeah, active listening skills.
Yes, I get, there are people who are very set in their ways. Sometimes watch how to move a boulder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's better, if both of y'all are coming to a conversation and, both of you are studying your ideas and you're not being willing to move and being willing to actually listen, then don't even waste your breath trying to have that conversation.
Sometimes, yeah.
So protect your peace. Be able to have a conversation with people who are going to disagree with you, and you should be able to know if someone's mature enough to have that healthy conversation.
Yeah,
they're like, hey,
it does matter.
We don't have to, believe in this thing and believe in that thing. But when it comes to it, you're gonna still have my back. I'm gonna still have your back.
Mm-hmm.
Except for if it's something like real crazy, like. If it's something real crazy, like if they, I say that, but then like, you also have to have self-respect and know that a person is not good for you if, they believe that, you shouldn't exist.
Right.
If somebody came to me and be like, well, I like you, I just don't like black people.
Right.
I'm just like,
yeah.
Actually, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Because, self-respect. Also,
yeah.
People come and go. That's life. You'll need a couple good friends. You don't need a whole. You don't need a whole.
You don't need an entourage.
Exactly. 5. 5 good friends. Makes up for 100.
That's right.
Find you those.
Yeah,
be able to disagree with them, and also hold that friendship tight. Okay, my last point. When it comes to things happening in the world, broaden your horizons and, realize that, there are other things going on and not just what, the media has. Because, like I said, these other things, like, Tigray, Burkina Faso, the, Yemen, like, Ecuador, all these places that have all these different problems, they need a voice as well.
Mm-hmm.
They need a voice too.
Yeah.
Would you rather be, one voice, in the crowd of many voices talking about the same thing, or the one voice speaking up for the many people that don't have a voice?
Right.
And, that's my TED Talk.
That's a heck of a TED Talk. Okay, so we're going to miss you while you're gone. We'll find a way to put some stuff together for you guys. And best wishes on whatever mysterious thing you're doing that the internet's not allowed to know about. And when you get back from the mysterious thing.
Exactly. You know, I have to keep an air of mystery on you.
That's right.
You only know so much about me. I do it in my personal life too. So, don't think you're special because I'm not telling you.
You're very special. Thank you very much for watching. Go to darshanyeshiva.org. Become a student. We'd love to have you. All kinds of programs at all kinds of prices. Javon.
And lastly, I'm all for, the comments. So if you want to be, comments are a safe space for all ideas. Yeah. I will be commenting on them though. And I will be getting at you So
he was wishing that producer Kaylee had found more spicy content. So
exactly.
if you really want to go at us,
I'm all open.
Then this
for
one,
disagreement.
he's gonna happily disagree with you.
Very confrontational.
Very
Love
confrontational.
Love it though. We all have different ideas and different opinions. Feel free, because I know you're gonna do it anyway. Feel free to voice your unfiltered opinion.
Yeah.
And I will voice mine as well.
That's right. All right. Take care, everyone. Thank you to our sponsors at Darshan Yeshiva for making this content possible. Darshan Yeshiva provides beginner-level online Jewish learning, including the very popular Conversion to Judaism program, with sponsoring rabbis and students all over the world. Start your Jewish journey any place, anywhere, and anytime with our conservative, reform, reconstructionist, Jewish renewal, humanistic, and post-denominational rabbi mentors. Become the Jew you always wanted to be with Darshan Yeshiva.